Welcome back to another edition of the Prospect Profile, a mini-series we do here within the White Sox franchise where we go over top prospects from AA Birmingham up to AAA Charlotte. Previously, we were down in AA Birmingham to go over left-handed starter Jesus Gutierrez, last year's first-round pick, and now we're going to be heading up to AAA Charlotte to go over third baseman Bryan Ramos. Ramos is a 22-year-old third baseman. Like I said, he can also play a bit of second base and first base. Bats right-handed, obviously throws right-handed, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighs about $190. He was signed by the White Sox out of Cuba as a teenager in the year of 2018. Even made his pro debut in 2019 stateside as a 17-year-old in the Rookie Ball Arizona League. Held his own, and that is why he has been a fast riser through the White Sox system. And as of right now, Bryan Ramos is currently sitting at a 64 overall and a B potential. And as you would expect for a corner infield prospect, the bat is the selling point for him. That is absolutely what excites scouts when they look at his profile. His contact and his power are both into the 50s. I believe the power versus right-handed had a little tick down this season. It's like 49 right now. But basically they're all low 50s at the moment. Ramos is not the most patient hitter, as he only has 36 plate discipline, but it has improved by 4 ticks this season, because that is where his training is in the plate skills. He's more so a player who makes up for his lack of discipline with good bat-to-ball skills, currently has a 53 vision. And like I said, that is where his training is. That is generally where I like to have prospects train, is their plate skills. I believe it's the hitting coach session, just so at least I get some guaranteed boosts in the vision, discipline, and clutch. And I sort of just rely on the player being able to really perform well to keep increasing their contact and their power. And over the years, I feel like I've gotten some pretty good results out of that. Because if guys just tear up a minor league level, they will. It's not uncommon for guys to just like boost a contact or power slot up by like 6, 7. I've even seen as much as like 10 in one season. The outlook for Ramos is maybe potentially being like a 20-25 homer guy. Obviously, right now does not have that kind of pop, but things can improve for him. It really just takes one season to finally get that power up to where we want it to be. And even if he doesn't reach that level, he's still going to be, at least he's looking to be, a pretty solid player for us on that hot corner. And speaking of defensively on the hot corner, he's not going to be a Gold Glover, but he definitely has good enough fielding, at least for my liking. It's like high 50s in fielding and reaction. But he does have a strong arm that plays well at third base, currently a 66 arm strength. And if we take a look at Ramos's stats, last season in 2023, he did not have the greatest year with AA Birmingham. Spent a lot of the second half on the IL as well, so just didn't really play too much, didn't even get a really chance to get out of his early season struggles. But this year at the AA level, he was one of our best bats in AA, had a 7.62 OPS. And he performed well enough that he actually very recently, earned himself a promotion to AAA Charlotte, so that is why you see him in Charlotte here in this profile. And you may be asking yourself, why are we choosing to profile Bryan Ramos out of all the prospects that we have acquired here in the system? Surely we have some guys who are better, have higher outlooks than Ramos, and you would be correct, but Bryan Ramos is 1,000% going to be on the big league roster here post-trade deadline, so we wanted to get this in, give you a little bit of heads up, take a look at who this guy is before he actually does arrive here in the big leagues. Ramos is already on the 40-man roster. He is on the 40-man roster in real life. So to me, it just makes more sense to not keep burning his options. We've already burned 2 of his options, just sending him down for spring training in Season 1 and in Season 2, so he only has 1 more option left after this season. So we might as well just have him up in the bigs, developing up there. And we are planning on completely gutting this roster at the trade deadline. A lot of playing time is going to be up for grabs post-trade deadline, so Bryan Ramos is going to be up in the big leagues, probably playing a lot for us, as we are definitely approaching the part of the rebuild here where the kids are going to start getting a lot more playing time. A lot less guys who are like 29, signed on 1-year deals, and a lot more guys who are starting to get to the point where we can't really keep him down in the minor leagues too often or too long now. We can get guys up like Ramos, maybe even Colson Montgomery within the next season or two, as well as a couple other names as well. So basically expect a lot less Sam Haggertys on next year's roster, I would say. But that will wrap things up here for this edition of the prospect profile of third baseman Bryan Ramos. And with that being said, I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying, I may have underestimated just how in disarray the Northwestern football program is.